What's up guys? This is Sunwar2 here, and I think it would be quite interesting if we were to be doing an Archangel review, but okay, we're not gonna do an Archangel review here. Of course, as you can see in the caption, we will be doing a new Joker review. Yeah, we will be doing a Joker review on the 5 elements of Joker. So just to start off, we have Jojo right here. So Jojo right here, basic attack, the same with all Jokers. Throws a sharp card and attacks and deserve enemy HP recovery for 2 turns, 70% chance. 70% chance of heal block. So it's actually a new revamped skill. I didn't say buffed, I didn't say nerfed. I'm neutral, I said revamped. So they actually revamped the skill. Before that it was just throws a sharp card and deals the harmful effect according to the attribute relationship of the target. So if I'm not wrong, it deals HP recovery, glancing hit, and slow, if I'm not wrong. But now they revamped it and turned it into a heal block. So yeah, it's the same with all Lucians. Jokers, so I'm not gonna emphasize anymore. So, Surprise Bomb mounts a bomb on all enemies, which detonates after 2 turns. The skill receives a 50% additional accuracy. This bomb is common with the Dark Joker. Yeah, it's common with the Dark Joker. So, as always, I wouldn't emphasize it with the Dark Joker anymore. So, this skill is actually, the bomb actually detonates based on attack. So, it's best to Rune Lucian, this Lucian based on Rune Lucian, this Lucian, not Lucian. Rune Jojo attack. Yeah? Then after that you have Fire Magic. Summons a wall of fire and inflicts continuous damage for 3 turns. It's actually a weaker version of... not this. Of course it is, but of course it is a weaker version of Beretta's 3rd skill. Yeah, this one actually inflicts 2 dots for 3 turns. But it's also a weaker version of this Grim Reaper's Living Hell, because Living Hell actually inflicts a heal block for 3 turns as well. Whereas, as you can see, Jojo's only inflicts dots for 3 turns. Plainly just dots. So yeah. Plus, as you can see, the Jojo has the highest base defense of all the other Jokers. Yeah, and his stands at 500, and it's also higher than his attack. That's because he's a defense type. But even though he's a defense type, we're not gonna ruin him defense. So since he has higher defense, that's just going to help to make Jojo more tankier than the other Jokers. So this Joker, you can just ruin him as... You can ruin him many things. You can ruin him Fatal Energy or Fatal Focus. You can ruin him Fatal Focus, Speed, Attack, with substats of Speed, Attack, and Accuracy. Attack, try to hit at least about 2,000 plus. Try to hit a plus 2,000 with the Fatal Focus set with Speed, Attack. Try to hit at least 2,000 for late gamers and mid gamers. And for early gamers, let's just not ruin Jojo at all. But if you want to ruin, for mid gamers and late gamers, if you choose to ruin Jojo differently from what others usually ruin them, of course you can ruin him for Despair Focus, because actually his 3rd skill is in AoE. So AoE, he actually also works as a CC monster. He actually also works as a CC monster if you ruin him Despair. So if you ruin him Despair plus Focus, same Speed, Attack, and it might actually work. Speed, Attack. Or if you want him to CC as he mutes with his bomb. Or you can use him as a pure CC by just ruining him speed, HP, substats of speed and accuracy, so that you got this AoE stun, and you just CC with the bomb. Don't deal damage with the bomb, just CC. Yeah, also works. So moving on, we have Xian, the water joker. First skill, not gonna emphasize. Second skill, surprise box. Summons a surprise box and inflicts damage, and grants one random harmful effect among stun, glancing hit rate increase, and attack speed decrease to all enemies. Not very special. It's common among the water, wind, and light joker, so it's not very special. Doesn't do a lot of things. Just inflicts a random debuff among these three. Unique thing about Xian is his passive revival magic, revives with invincibility and immunity for one turn at the moment of death with 25% HP. And the cooldown is 8 turns. It's kind of a revamped Perna passive. Perna is revives from the ashes at the moment of death with 100% HP. Yeah, that's Perna. But with Xian, it's different. Revives at 25% HP with invincibility and immunity. So it's kind of different. So this invincibility and immunity can be stripped. It can be stripped. People, if you ever go against Jojo, counters to him might be chilling. Chilling might be a counter. Elsharion might be a counter, but Elsharion's a bit too expensive. Yeah, Elsharion's a bit too expensive and going a bit too overboard just for one monster, just for a Nat 4. So yeah. Or you can go with Lauren. Valadian's also a good choice because his second skill strips. Yeah. So yeah, those are actually counters for Xian. Or you can go with, yeah, technically those are the counters for Xian. And Xian, usually you don't really usually see Xian very often, very rarely actually. But Xian, because usually he's actually fed solution as a skill up. But if you actually see a Xian, it'll actually either be very tanky or mediocre, just tanky and damaging at the same time. So Xian, you can ruin him Swift Blade. You can ruin him Swift Blade, Fatal Blade. Fatal Blade with attack, crit damage, HP. Swift Blade if you want that extra speed, just so that you can outspeed the opponent. But I don't think that you need it for that. So Fatal Blade or Swift Blade, attack, crit damage, HP, or HP, crit damage, attack. I think you get what I mean. If you want to use him for defense, for Guild Siege defense, you can put him on Swift Will or Fatal Will. Also not an issue. Yeah. So if you put it on Will, you can focus more on your HP and your attack rather than your speed, but you still need to focus slightly on your speed regardless. You don't want to be too slow. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Xian. Now we will move on to the crowd's all-time favorite. No, not liably, but Lucian. Yes, Lucian, all-time favorite. Used commonly in many places. In Giants B10, Guild Siege offense, Arena offense, but not in RTA, not in Rift. Yeah? So Lucian, first skill, second skill, not gonna emphasize. Uniquely, his third skill is the only one that makes him the all-time favorite. Amputation Magic, AoE Ignore Defense. It's an AoE Ignore Defense skill. It's great against noob waves in your dungeons. Great against noob waves in your dungeons. Just clears them all in one shot if you get the right attack. So Lucian, ruined usually early game, can be ruined early game. I'm not saying you can't ruin him in early game. He's actually useful in early game. So you can ruin him Fatal Blade, attack, crit damage attack with substats of attack and crit damage and crit rate regardless. But if you want a faster Lucian, mid gamers and late gamers, you can go for either Swift Blade, Fatal Blade, or Swift Blade if you want Speed Lucian, and Rage Blade if you want a Juicy Lucian. Juicy Lucian, Rage Blade, attack, crit damage, attack. For mid gamers, attack, crit damage, attack. Focus on attack and crit damage, and speed and crit rate regardless. You still need that speed and crit rate a bit down there. For late gamers, you can go for same thing, technically the same thing, but for mid gamers, if you want to go for a Speed Lucian, still same thing, Swift Blade, same thing, attack, crit damage, attack, but this time you don't focus too much on your attack and crit damage. Keep your crit damage about 150, with attack about plus 1,400, 1,600, somewhere there, and you focus on your speed. Yeah, you focus on your speed, but of course you still need to keep his HP 15,000 and above. No, just keep his HP 15,000. Yeah. For late gamers, same thing. Rage Blade, same thing. Attack, crit damage, attack. With attack, try to aim for plus 2,000. Crit damage, try to aim for 200% and above crit damage. And for your Speed Lucian, go for Swift Blade. Attack, speed for Speed Lucian, Swift Blade, speed, crit damage, attack. Focus more on your speed, and same requirements for attack, HP, and crit damage. Crit rate for all, just try to aim for about 70% or so. Okay, so plus you can also rune Lucian slightly differently by actually, if you want to rune a Lucian differently, you have too many Lucians. If you have too many Lucians, you can choose to rune a CC Lucian, because he actually has 2 AoE skills. So you can rune a Despair Lucian, and you can go on Despair Revenge with speed HP attack, speed crit damage attack, or speed crit damage HP. Actually works out that way. If you want a CC Lucian for, if you want to use him for Guild Siege defense, that's if you're creative and your runes actually have to have good stats. If you don't have good stats, don't use that set. You're going to kill your Lucian if you don't have a spare Lucian. Number 1, if you don't have a spare Lucian. And number 2, if your rune sets suck. Yeah? So, just a disclaimer. Next up, we're gonna go for Figaro. Figaro is the light Joker. His passive was actually revamped. I'm not sure what was his passive a long time ago, but for second skill, not going to reiterate, same thing. Passive, Camouflage. Cancels oncoming damage with 25% chance. One beneficial effect on target enemy will be removed every time you perform an attack. You actually don't see Figaro very often in Guild Siege or in Arena Offense. Not commonly seen. But because one thing, or even defenses, he's also not usually seen. Because of his passive. Yeah, his cancels on incoming damage with a 25% chance. From what I've heard, it's actually not very reliable. It's like almost a 5% chance, or even just like a 1% chance. It barely activates, and even if it does, it's very, very rare. So, not really passive, not very, very reliable, but only for the cancel oncoming damage part. Instead, actually the strip part is actually similar to how Lauren actually defense breaks everything she touches. Yeah, it's actually similar to Lauren's Chaser passive. Yeah, so it actually strips. Actually, it's more similar to El Sharon's passive, because El Sharon is the one that... Oh wait, El Sharon steals. Okay, never mind. So, it actually strips the opponent every time he attacks. So it's actually useful. That's the only part of the passive that's actually useful in Guild Siege, and Arena Offense. That's the only thing that's actually useful. So Figaro is actually HB type. Yeah, actually it's best to use him as an HB type. He's not really much of an attack type. But if you want to put him on attack, sure, why not? I can't stop you, can I? If you want to use him as an attack type, you can go for same thing, early game Fatal Blade. But he's not very useful in early game, just saying, because he's a stripper. Stripper is not very relatable in early game. So so mid game, Fatal Blade, Rage Blade if you want to ruin him on damage. So Rage Blade, Fatal Blade, attack crit damage, attack. Late game, still the same thing, Fatal Blade, Rage Blade, attack crit damage, attack. Focus slightly more on the speed. But if you want him as an HP type, or you want him to be a Reliant Stripper, you can mid-game either use speed, HP, accuracy, substats of speed and accuracy, or you can use him speed, HP, substats, accuracy, use him something like Swift Focus, or or Swift Energy, something like that. Or in late game, you can actually switch to Violent Focus with speed, and you emphasize substats, emphasize slightly more on speed, so that he's faster, and he actually gets violent procs. So that's it for Figaro. Let's go on to Liably. So first skill, not going to emphasize. Second skill, I'm still not going to emphasize this because I already emphasized it in the JoJo one. So passive, Shadow Revenge, counterattacks the enemy to inflict damage proportionate to your attack power, of course, and decreases the skill cooldown when you are attacked. So it's actually useful because he's actually it actually works as a reliable bomb. Yeah, actually works as a reliable bomb because of his passive. So you can choose to use him as a, of course you can still choose to use him as a CC monster with Despair Focus, so that whenever you attack or counterattack, you actually stun. You might actually get a chance to stun, and plus you also stun with a surprise bomb, just stunning, no damage. Or you can choose to use him as a bomber, because this actually helps him to actually bomb more efficiently. So you can go on Fatal Focus so that the bomb gets in, and attack, speed, attack. And standard thing, no crit rate at all. Don't go for crit rate. And then, or you can go for a more balanced approach, speed, attack, HP, or speed, HP, attack, so that you can actually survive all those hits that you might actually receive if you're actually putting him in defense. Yeah, but people don't put him in defense. So yeah. So now I'm gonna move on to how they can be used. So JoJo, he can be used with usually used with Sierra, because Sierra's passive, actually JoJo and Liably can be used with Sierra, because Sierra's third skill actually activates all the bombs on the enemies. So yeah, technically it works because they are both bombers, aren't they? So then Sion, I actually don't know what to put with Sion, because he's actually pretty much useless. People don't really use him, but you can put him with something like I think her name is Vanessa. Am I wrong? Let me take a look. Yes, you can use her with Vanessa, because you can use her with Vanessa, because at that point, if you use her with Vanessa, it's pretty much a 9,000 revive thing. You use her with Vanessa, then you use her with and afterwards you use her with a Triana, then you use with a Perna, you're gonna get like 9,000 revives, as usual. As usual, the 9,000 revive team, yeah? So, there's a lot, you can use a lot of combinations with him actually. Then Lucian, also a lot of combinations, but best used in dungeons. His home is dungeons. His home is the Kairos dungeons, and arena offense, and Guild Siege offense, not defense, Guild Siege offense. But if you rune him as a CC, Despair Blade, or Despair, then you can put him in defense, sure, why not? Then, he's used with a lot of things. He can be used with Sigmarus, he can be used with twins, he can be used with the Firewater twins, he can be used with Lauren, he can be used with, Helia, he can be used with a lot of things, yeah, really, a lot of things. Figaro, not very commonly used in a lot of things, but usually used just in Guild Siege defense, arena. Guild Siege defense, arena defense, RTA. Yeah, seriously, not very commonly used. You don't even see him once in every 100 Guild Siege battles. You barely see him once. Yeah. Then Liably, also not very efficient. You don't even see him very often, but at least it's more often than you see Figaro, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see any more content, put it in the comment section below. And I'll see y'all next time. This is Sun Warrior 2.